Welcome back to the Cumbie Show. We tell like it is and we don't care how you feel. And it is that time of the year, ladies and gentlemen. The college football playoffs are amongst us. And boy, am I excited. I cannot wait for these games to start. I'm actually going to be doing a breakdown, preview, and prediction video of all the first round games. And then the second round, then the third round, and then finally the showdown to crown the national championship. That game when those roll around. But to start things off, I am going to be doing a preview and prediction video of all the first round. Today, we're going to start with Oregon versus James Madison. So if there is another video you want to see me break down, just check out my channel. It would either already be uploaded or uploaded very soon. So like I said, today we're going to be doing Oregon taking on James Madison. Let's jump into that. Oregon 11-1 versus James Madison, who is also 11-1. James Madison is the Sun Belt Conference champion. So this game is in Eugene, Oregon. It's a home game for the Ducks. Kickoff is 7:30, and they open as a 24-point favorite. And look, if you're Oregon, this is probably the best team to have to start the playoffs, maybe besides Tulane. So you couldn't have asked for a better opponent, an easier opponent. And look, my feelings on this situation of having a group of 5 team in the 12-team playoffs, I don't think group of 5 teams should make the 12-team playoffs. No disrespect to James Madison and Tulane as well for that matter said, but we have 12 slots for the current college football playoff model. I don't believe we should be wasting one of those 12 on a group of 5 team. Like I said, no disrespect to James Madison. They had a hell of a season. That is a fantastic team they got there. They played their hearts out. Congratulations to everything that they've accomplished this season. Congratulations on winning the Sun Belt Conference. And also congratulations on actually making the playoffs. I mean, that's a huge reward. But I feel like the group of 5 teams should have their own playoffs. They come together as a unit, have their own 12-team playoffs, 16-team playoff, whatever they want to do. I think that would be very fun, very interesting. I would love to watch it. I think it'd bring so much more eyes to them, to their conferences, to their teams, and so much money to them, much more money to them. So, but it is what it is. This is the world that we live in right now. They basically get an invitational. I do believe the playoffs are going to be changing. They've already changed so much since it started. So who knows what the playoff selection, the playoff format will look like in 5 years. But nonetheless, it is the world we live in right now. And we're just stuck in a position where this year we have 2 group of 5 teams in because we can all thank the ACC. The ACC was so bad this season that 2 group of 5 teams got in, James Madison and Tulane. So thank you, ACC. You had a 7-5 Duke team win your conference. Absolutely pathetic. But nonetheless, that's a conversation for another day. I could go on a tangent about that. Let's jump in this game. Like I said, this is Oregon versus James Madison. Oregon is getting the home field advantage. It's a 7:30 kickoff. They open as a 24.5-point favorite. So, look, I'm not going to sugarcoat it, beat around the bush. I'm going to take Oregon to win this game. I think that this Oregon team is really good. Obviously, their one loss comes against Indiana, a 10-point loss at home, 30-20 there against Indiana, who ended up becoming the Big Ten champions. Indiana did beat Ohio State to win the Big Ten championship, first time in program history. So, but Oregon's going to win this game. I don't think it's going to be particularly close. I think that this Oregon offense is really good. The quarterback there for Oregon, Dante Moore, he's got 2,733 passing yards, 24 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. I think he's averaging just under 9 yards a throw. So this offense for Oregon is elite. It always is. They've been able to put up points like crazy. And I think one of the things that is even better for them going into this playoff is their defense. Obviously, Dan Lanning, who is a defensive mind, the head coach there for the Ducks, I think he is an elite defensive mind guy. He's got this defense dialed in. I was looking at the numbers. They're giving up just 14.8 points per game. The whole season. We played the full regular season. It's not like we played 3 games for it. No, the whole regular season is done. This defense is only giving up 14.8 points per game. Obviously, the most they gave up is against Indiana. They're at home. They did allow 30 points. But, I mean, besides that one game, I mean, most teams are not barely getting over 20 points. There's a lot of 7, 10 type of scores there. But Defense for this Oregon team, I think, is also really good. I think it's probably one of the better defenses out there in the country. Now, like I said, I think that the Big Ten is extremely overrated. I think the Big Ten is extremely top-heavy. I think Big Ten has probably really three good teams in Indiana, Ohio State, and Oregon. Once you kind of get past those three, I think there is a very steep drop off in the talent. So, but nonetheless, they're still going out and performing the way they should. They're whooping up on teams that they should. So, I mean, and also they're putting up 38.3 points per game average. So they're scoring a ton, and they're not letting other teams score. So if this was Oregon versus Texas Tech, Oregon versus Georgia, Oregon versus basically anyone else in the playoffs besides Tulane, I think this would be a much closer game, but I don't think this game is going to be particularly close. I mean, James Madison's best win of the season is against a 5-7 team in Troy, or 7-5 team in Troy in the Sun Belt Conference championship. Now, they did beat them, and they did win, so congratulations to them. They beat them 31-14, so it wasn't particularly close. But I don't think that this James Madison team has the dogs, has the talent to keep up with such a type of offense, a high-scoring offense, and a defense that can really shut you down if they get going. So I am going to take Oregon to win this game. They are a 24.5-point favorite. That is a very big line. But like I said, because it is James Madison, I actually think Oregon is going to cover that. I think we're going to see a big blowout in this game. I don't think it's going to be particularly close when it's all said and done. I would probably expect around like a 45, 48 to 7 type game, maybe 9 type game. I'm very interested to see what James Madison can do in this game. Now, I will say this. If after this game is done, this game is played on Saturday the 20th at 7:30, so this next Saturday, if James Madison comes out here, and I don't think they're going to win, but if they win, I'll be genuinely shocked. I'll come on here and eat crow. If James Madison keeps it particularly close and they're able to you put up a lot of points against this Oregon team, even if they lose, I'll come on here and eat crow as well. But I don't think that this game is going to be particularly close. I think we're going to see a very well-rested Oregon team. They do have a couple of weeks before this game starts, from their last game to when it's going to start. So they're going to be well-rested. I think they're going to be able to dial some stuff up. I think they're going to be particularly careful about not to show too much because it is against James Madison. But I think at the end of the day, this Oregon team is very elite. I think they're very good on both sides of the ball. Offense, they can put up a ton of points. They can score at will on you, and their defense can be smothering once they get in the groove of things, especially with Dan Lanning there as head coach. So I'm going to take Oregon. I'm going to take the Ducks to win this game. I think they are actually going to cover the 24.5-point line. I think the over-under for this game is right around 50 points. So I wouldn't be surprised if they hit that. I mean, Oregon could probably hit that by themselves, but I think they score somewhere in the 40s, probably low 40s. But wouldn't be surprised if they score 50 and above. So we'll see. What can the Sun Belt Conference champions do in this game against the Big Bad Ducks? Cannot wait for this game. So give me the Oregon Ducks to win. The winner of this showdown, whether it be Oregon or James Madison, they will go on to take on Texas Tech. So either way, give me Oregon. They're winning. I'm going to take them to cover the 24.5 points. And James Madison, congratulations. You've had a great year, but I think your Cinderella story comes to an end in the first round. But hey, shock the world, James Madison. It would be funny to see. Other than that, over and out.